So here's the front shoulder. This is probably what everybody really just throws away. And like I said, I wish, everybody wouldn't do that. Sometimes you shoot it in the shoulders. You have to. A deer I did the other night was shot, and it came out the front shoulder, and it did kind of mess it up. So what I want to do first is I want to try to get this fat off of it the best I can. So I'm just kind of like laying it down flat and pulling, trying to keep my knife flat. This is not beef fat and pig fat that you're thinking of. This is nasty fat, gamey nasty fat. You don't want it. So I'm doing a pretty good job of shaving it off, because I don't want it on my sausage or anything either. So I'm going to keep it. Now this, got a hair on my fingers. So what I'll do first is I'm just going to go ahead and just trim this off. This is going to be absolutely, every bit of it is going to be grind. So I'm going to go in, take off this old nasty, slimy, what I call snot fat. Now then, to me, that's really pretty clean. You've seen them guys on them shows, they'll take that piece of meat and throw it down, and they'll cut a piece on it and they'll throw it back down. I'm not throwing it back down. I'm going to do it in a couple of cuts and just get what I can. I'm not going to get it all. A little's not going to hurt. That would have been a piece of meat that, most guys would have just thrown away because it's front shoulder. Sticky too. So, putting all that aside. So here's her front shoulder. This would be her left shoulder. This is the part that went up on her rib cage. So right here, that's technically her shoulder blade. So what I'm going to do is just going to reach in here, and you can see where I'm going to have some fat and stuff right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut, and I can save a little of that. I'll come back and clean it. But all of this is just going to be that slimy snot stuff that I don't want to eat it. So far I haven't done anything just out of the ordinary on, I'll clean that too, on did I ruin something or waste something, or did I cut it wrong? If you're going to grind everything up like I do, I didn't cut it wrong. If you're going to cut it up like I did and get steaks out of it, I still didn't cut it wrong. So here's the shoulder blade. You can see it right here. So what I do, this is just me, is I come down on the other side of that shoulder blade thing, and I just lay my knife down there and I just fillet this off. You'll see when I get there, the top of the shoulder blade just runs right down through here, and I'm just going to come up right here. Now then, the bone and everything told me where to go. So this piece, I'm going to trim off just a little bit here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this in two because it's supposed to. And that lets me get some of this snottier snot off of it. A lot of that will cook out for you. Don't be concerned that you're scared to death you're going to make it taste bad because you got too much fat. That won't happen. But I can trim, if I can get my fingers moving, because boy, they're cold. I'm just going to take off what I can and let the grinder take care of the rest. I'm kind of moving my scrap pile. So that was basically, like I said, there is no right or wrong way to do this. I'm just, really right now, I'm just removing meat the best that I can. So I'm going to continue where I was. That's bone. You can see the other side of the bone. I'm just going to go right down it, right beside it there, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to turn my own knife sideways. Basically fillet that right off the shoulder blade. You can see, you can see it, and like I said, there's where the bone quit. So I'm just going to go right down it. Now then, you know, like I said, I just do this to grind, and I'm just wanting to get it done as quickly as I can to get it in the grinder and get it packed up. Please, if you got another way to do it, or there's an easy way just to peel all of that off, put it in the comments, and we'll be more than happy to look at it, try it, and if it works, you know, that'd be great. It's always, I mean, like I said, I better stop right here and have Matt put the disclaimer up right there that I am not a professional butcher. I'm a do-it-yourselfer. Thanks, Matt. Matt just put that up there. It's like he didn't even hardly move, and it just popped right up. I'm just trying to cut off some silver skin, just because it is kind of heavy. Like I said, if I get this done, we'll go into some back straps, and it'll pick up pretty quick. Of course, I've got another hind quarter and another front shoulder to do. So you can see the shoulder blade. It's not even connected to the deer at all, but by muscle. So what I'm going to do again is I'm just going to run my knife down that. Just find me a good turning point. Take me a big old hunk of that off, because there should be one more gland in the front. It was probably right in this mess. So I'm going to go back and look. I don't want to eat that. So you can tell something's going on here. It's just another little muscle group. I can basically really just peel that out with my hands. And like I said, I'm just looking for fat. I'm looking for another one of them glands, because I think there's a little one of them up in the front. Now the front, the silver skin is going to be a little bit tougher. You'll definitely want to get it out of there. So there's not a whole lot here, but I'm going to try to cut it. And so like I said, you may think this is a lot of trouble, but just tell yourself, I'm doing it myself. I'm going to save some money. And it's like I said in episode 1 or 2, I can't remember, but you will get your own deer back. So, you know, you have to know something was up when some of the processors started saying that, you know, they're going to make sure you get your deer back. So, I don't know whose you've been getting for years. But you know right now you're getting yours. There's a little bit of bloodshot. So, I'm going to take it out, because blood will taste nasty. I'm just trimming, people. I'm not, like I said, I'm not doing, there is no rhyme or reason to my madness, other than I'm looking for fat, I'm looking for hair, I'm looking for stuff that I don't want in my deer meat. It's kind of not very attractive when you're eating a piece of meat or a restaurant or whatever, and you got a hair and something. I can't get it off here. So I'm still, like I said, there's no rhyme or reason. You're going to find the leg bone, and I just ran my knife up it. I'm now just trimming off as I go, just to take meat off to get it done. And I'm just going to keep right on. I'm just following the bone. This deer was this was a pretty good doe, but it's not big enough to have a front shoulder roast. I don't know that I've ever had a front shoulder roast. It would just, to me, would seem like it would just be too tough. But I know it is a butcher cut of meat. And it's like this stuff right here. I'm going to take the time, turn it there for you, and I'm going to cut it out. And you know, I know what you're thinking, man, you did a lot of work for a little bit of effort and for a little bit of meat. Well, I know, but that could be half a piece of jerky. Or just one good mouthful of summer sausage. Still going, that piece was good. I can do a little bit right here. And I can come back and do a little bit right there. And then I don't want this either, so I'm just going to cut that whole little section off. So I made all them cuts for 2 pieces of meat. Well, I guess. I'm getting into some rough tendons, so I don't really want to do that. That's still a good piece. This is going to be fat. I can take my knife and go right down that shoulder blade. And I can go in and get that off of it. I can push a little bit. I can go in and get that and that. So you definitely are going to the grinder with that. You just are. So I'm going to cut it back up into here, just so I know that I got it. So while we're talking, how'd everybody's deer seasons go? If you don't care, just click the comment down there and then just, tell us how you did. I can tell you how I did. Close your eyes, people. Close your eyes. Okay, what do you see? That's what I've got so far. But I'm not giving up. Matt told me to give up. My knife's getting dull. My sharpener's in the house. So I'm gonna suffer through the best that I can. Because if you're going, dude, that's what we're doing. We're suffering through this the best that we can. Well, I'm just trying to show people, like I said, money's money. It ain't no sense, give yourself a little bit of pride in your stuff. Make you feel good about hunting. I'm just going down to the bone. You need to, you're taking care of your harvest. And you will really thank us one day when we go into a summer sausage making episode and some things like that, and you go, okay, I'm gonna start making my own summer sausage and saving myself a lot of money from the processor. And when you do, and it tastes good, you're going, okay, I've learned something new. It's really nice. I can make my own summer sausage. I'm not getting the community batch of summer sausage, and you're going to when you go, because they just can't make it any smaller batches. Maybe out of season they will, but for the most part right now they just won't. I've done so many deer lately and I haven't sharpened my knives, you can tell. So I'm just going to cut some junk. I'm going to try to get a few more pieces off of her the best that I can. There's really not just a whole lot left. That's not going to be, just real fat. And it might get to the point to where this does get a little tedious and maybe just a little silly that you're picking them this clean. I'm going to grind that. That'll grind. That won't hurt anything. I'm going to keep going. I can get a little bit more. Well, if you're still with me, hang on. We're going to do his back strap. So this would have been, I know it sounds weird, this would have been this shoulder. This would be her, I don't know, I guess that'd be your, I don't know. I'm no biologist, but this is the shin. I do know that. So there's that. I've got just a little bit of trimming to do, then we're going to jump right into a back strap real quick on how to do them and why we do like we do. I'm just still trimming. I mean, this may get a little monotonous, and Matt may take this home and work his magic on it and go, man, that's just a lot of fat trimming. And he may trim the fat, right, Matt? Matt may trim the fat and just basically just get her down to, this may be down to like, you guys might think I'm the fastest deer processor ever. And I'm not. But you can't say it's probably, my stuff's probably not clean. Yeah, I know it. Every little piece I try to get, just because I got to use all the deer meat I can get. Okay, this is all my scraps with the exception of that. And I can do just a little bit of work on it. I might trim that up. I want this piece for sure off of it. Like so. I'm not going to be able to get just everything off of it. And some of this.
From all of us at Ozark Traditions TV, we thank you for watching. And remember, if you see us out in God's country, stop us. We'd like to meet you.